Schroeder have playing last night.
Set some screens here. They've shown they'll die on some screens.
Pick and fade, and Quinten Post with the three, and the Warrior bench goes nuts.
Ball from Uncle Steph. Post for three, knocks it down. Good minutes for a lot of these guys tonight.
But that guy with the ball, Curry will probably play the first 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes. These are important minutes because they'll pull him. I don't think he plays the whole fourth. They got to hold the line when he's out of the game.
Post stretching the floor and successfully so with the three ball.
Kind of fun for Io DeSumo, Chicago kid playing for his hometown team.
Yeah, he's got a high motor, really solid defensively.
Quinten Post dropping in a three. That's not an accident.
Waiting for something to open up.
So you were down 14, you took a 4-point lead, but now Chicago making a little move, and Quinten Post parries another three, his second make of the night. Schroeder and Post, they went a little pick and pop themselves for a three. Quinten Post from deep.
And now they're rolling. No,
early in the fourth, that's what Steve's thinking, but you know, how much gas does Steph have in the tank?
Well, you work so hard in that third quarter as Post gets another look at it.
Quinten Post 4 made threes. Moody 4 made threes.
Oh, yeah, the second half is much different for the Bulls when it comes to three-point shooting.
Quinten Post, 5 threes made.
For Golden State, connect returns for the Lakers. Curry sets a screen. Santos kicks it out. Post open three-pointer. That's good. Podziemski three-pointer. Moody the offensive rebound. Post is going to try a three. He got it way downtown. The rookie from the Netherlands.
Colin Sexton, first player in double figures for either team. He's got 11. Quinten Post is getting all he can eat. He's not going to keep missing. We've seen him hit 40%.
That would be a monster change, a huge change.
8-point lead in the ball. Quinten Post dropping in at three. I'll tell you.
Mike Budenholzer said he gives us an edge, really likes his tenacity. Here's Post from deep. 0, as we showed you in that first quarter. Durant and Booker combined for 16. Post wide open. Curry made that happen, and Post pays it off. His second three.
Post an open three. He got it. Yeah. So Post first made three.
How do you think he'll work the Austin Reeves dynamic with LeBron and Luka on the floor together?
Well, I think Austin Reeves, as Post knocks down a three, is those 4 young guys, Podziemski, Moody, Trace Jackson, Davis, you know, and Kuminga. He didn't have to give up any of them.
Kept it alive for Heel. Buddy to Post. Bulls are going to sag off of him, but remember, he buried 5 of them last meeting. Frustrating finish for Jackson, I know.
And he should still be a coach in the league. It's amazing that he's not.
Post hits a three, everybody feeling it. But he was saddled with foul trouble. Post is a 2, make a 3.
I'll tell you what, however they found that guy, man.
Was a Boston College Eagle the last 3 years, was Post after a year at Mississippi State. Had a huge game against Chicago and San Francisco, and he has hit 3 of his 4 triples.
Cuts the lead here to 2. Jimmy Butler gives it up. Podziemski. Lots of movement. Here's Post, the rookie. Big three-pointer. Hasn't hit one all night.
Jimmy Butler inside.
And Butler another steal. Number 4 for the night. Podziemski, dangerous pass. Quinten Post, sidestep three. How about that? The rookie, the 52nd pick.
Largest deficit.
He's still number 2 in Warriors history in made threes, behind only, obviously, Curry. And he's number 6 all-time in scoring for Golden State as Post knocks down a 3.
If you can play for him, you can play for anybody. Butler against Ellis. Out to Quinten Post. Big man has a feathery touch and knocks down the 3.
Great job off the bench for Doug Christie and making them have a presence in the paint.
Boy, that ball really popping. They found Post, and Post rattles home another 3.
Instead of the one on the baseline where the action happened.
Green back out to Post.
He's made 2 already, make it 3. Here is Butler. He's got 9 points so far, 5 of 5 at the line. Finds Post in the corner, and the 3 is good. Boy, he's been shooting lights out.
Multiple position defender. And so all those things, but ironically, when we met with him, he had already made up his mind. A lot of times you meet with a free agent, you try to convince them. This is a Quinten Post 3-point show here.
Who had played in the United States and been playing in Australia.
The Warriors scouting department is top notch, and it doesn't matter where you are. It's Quinten Post knocks down a 3, and he's celebrating. I love his celebrations.
Post has started 7 times. He starts the second half for the Warriors. Podziemski, 3-point shooter. Post, nothing but. Wendell furious. Got to get back and play defense. Yep. And Post is the open shooter, and he drills another 3. And the technical foul on Wendell as well.
Didn't suffer any setbacks that he knows of. It felt good at times. It felt not good at times, he said. He said it got to points where it felt a little better, and then he would go out and play, and it swells up again. And
move there, but can't convert on a little 6-footer in the lane.
George 1 for 4 so far. Post with Green finding him, and Post knocks down the 3-pointer. On Wednesday, Oubre is 17. He had 27 against New York 3 days ago. Here's Post from deep, and he hits a 3. Post with his 3rd foul. Both he and Draymond Green have 3. Curry had 22 third-quarter points on Thursday. He finds the wide-open Post, and that's his 2nd 3 of the quarter.
All his teammates know it, just throw it up to him. Like you said, you got to credit Charles Lee, because the Warriors ran him out of the gym at Chase Center. Quinten Post hitting a 3. Or along with LaMelo, that can really hurt you on this team.
It's going to be an important 4 minutes going into halftime.
Quinten Post out of the corner. And Steph finding him there.
Get it ahead for Green. Waits. Trailer. Post. Got a 3. The irony of his last name, because he does not play in the post. So with the absence of Podziemski, lower back issues, Spencer getting an opportunity. He just converted his 2-way to a full-time contract, and Post continues to impress from the perimeter.
Their defense really fuels their offense, and Klingen is one of the toughest guys to score on around the basket. You see that size.
So Post, he was 0 for 5 Saturday. First time he had ever been 0 for 5.
Klingen doesn't want to get out there.
Shaedon Sharpe and Quinten Post played good defense there. Sharpe can high-rise like few guys in the league. Post had made 1 3. How about another one?
You got to quell his fire somehow.
Yeah, he had 34 last night. He's halfway there with 17.
Get out that fire extinguisher, nip it at the bud.
Quinten Post.
Won 10 of 11 overall, 12 of 14 in the corner, Post an open 3. And this is what he can do, spacing the floor.
It is, and Coach Kerr will be the first one to tell you this is not easy a scenario to come into. I mean, the team is rolling. Jimmy Butler has been the absolute perfect.
From the same spot, and Post made one from that corner. All right, game plan adjustment, get him out of the right corner as Moody, who's an excellent defender, gets a stop. Post a 3.
Butler kicks it out. Post can shoot the 3. Right on cue. That's the 7th 3-pointer.
Post. He just left him alone, and he's shooting 41% on 3s, by the way. Pretty well played. The Warriors are shooting 64%, but the lead is only 3.
Well, they're just trying to stay as close as possible.
Quinten Post.
Well, now you already let him see one go in.
He went and got in front of Pirtle there, so Butler could come away with the rebound. Jimmy Butler taking it out to Post, catch and shoot 3. Quinten Post, there we go. That is his career best in a game, and Tom Thibodeau just wouldn't guard it. Just, okay, let Draymond shoot every 3. You want to let Quinten Post shoot 3s, you're going to have a problem. Jimmy Butler going to size up Scotty Barnes. Quinten Post, catch and shoot 3. Quinten Post. Jimmy Butler, tornado move. Didn't finish with that layup. Quinten Post got a 3. Quinten Post has 6 threes. And Draymond played the D early.
It collapsed on Giannis perfectly that time.
So Mark Lindsay and Brett Warnke, Jonathan Sterling to blow the whistles. And how about Quinten Post opening with the three. He is something else, man. Up close and personal, he is something else.
You're like, he really is a great freak.
Quinten Post, his second made three. 14-point lead in the ball. How do the Warriors finish these final 2 minutes here? Skip past Quinten Post, catching 2-3, and he got it. So Quinten Post has 11 now to lead the Warriors. Gotta keep moving. And in that split action, Butler didn't want the three, working the baseline. Quinten Post catch and shoot triple. Got it!
48-31. Butler. Post. Nice looking three. A Warrior team that's won 3 straight and 6 of their last 7 on the road. Post for 3. Good. Quinten Post with his second 3 of the game. On the push. Butler. Post corner 3. Perfect. Third 3 for Quinten Post and a timeout for Quinn Snyder as the Warriors cut it to 8.
Desperately trying to get into the top 4 with all those teams bunched together in the middle of the Western Conference. Jimmy Butler here in the booze when he's touched it. That is Post lighting the lamp from deep.
52nd overall out of Boston College, 25 years of age.
The thing is, he's not going to stop shooting, though, Joe.
Yep, that's what he's in there for.
Because shooters shoot.
Now it's Kuminga. What an athlete.
This is where Kuminga's really good at using his body.
And Post gets the triple.
He's not going to stop shooting, Joe.
He reminds me of Jay Huff because he's got a good stroke. And he knows how to play.
Yeah, Festus Ezeli.
Yep. There you go. Post again on cue.
Yeah.
He's hitting threes. Different. And they now have their largest lead of the game, up by 11.
He backs down KJ. In the pass. Quinten Post hits a 3. He has been so good from downtown.
So the Grizzlies starting backcourt of Bane and Morant have accounted for 14 of the 18 Grizzlies points.
It's very interesting. The Grizzlies only 1 assist on their 8 made baskets so far.
Post. Offensive rebound, Santos.
You said possessions were going to be crucial because both of these teams create extra possessions with turnovers and offensive rebounding. So they make it a long run for the next defender to be involved defensively.
Extra pass, Pajemski, Post for 3.
Warriors would love to get as much as possible inside, especially with the fatigue.
Quinten Post! That's a big 3 right there. Stay connected, stay in the game.
Okay, so as I watched Tumani pick up Steph Curry, Kev, it brought to me something I've always appreciated about Tumani as he tried to draw a foul that time on GP2. Post knocks down a 3, but it's disruptive. So they can play that conservative defense where they're mainly beneath the 3-point line because they're physical and they get after you underneath that 3-point line.